and the girl who loves the sea. It calls me.
Greetings to everyone. Today I want to talk about spiritual exhaustion, especially in healers. If you're a person who's already practicing your healing, or it's other people who are helping others indirectly, but this is merely for all of those people. And also for as a spiritually gifted person, how do you go about identifying when you are spiritually exhausted? Okay, but firstly, before I go on the topic, I would like to announce this publicly. I'm putting on hold any spiritual reading, online spiritual reading, as I continue to nurture my spiritual practice and prioritize my own well-being. I wish to inform you guys that I will be adjusting my spiritual online readings. Okay, for the time being, I will be putting online spiritual readings on hold until further notice. However, in-person spiritual reading at my premises are still welcome and available. I will be focusing exclusively on online practices such as spiritual mentoring and guidance. Okay, so that is the only thing right now I'll be focusing on spiritual guidance and spiritual mentoring online. When someone is saying, I know I possess the spirits and everything, but I'm failing to connect, what is it that I can do to connect with the spirits? How is it that I can go about understanding the spirits and everything? You see, that is a spiritual guidance, okay, whereby I also give mentorship as well. So that is the only thing that I'll be doing currently. This is for the time being. This is not a permanent thing that I'm not doing any online readings. So because now this decision allows me to maintain my healthy balance and ensure that I provide the highest quality to support those who seeking guidance. Okay, my spirits and guides have advised me to take this step to protect my energy and prevent spiritual exhaustion. It's very important, but when you're working with people, that sometimes you just take some time out on doing especially online readings, energy work and all of those things, because it becomes very draining. So I'm also at a point where I'm actually taking a break from online readings and actually focusing on my own health. You are welcome to do a reading in my premises. It's fine. It's okay. Let me explain why we're just putting on hold the spiritual reading. You see, when you're going through a spiritual reading with someone online, you tap into someone else's spirituality, where you get exposed to a lot of things. Sometimes it's bad entities. Sometimes it's quite a lot of things that drain you and your energy. Okay, and you get also these people who will say they want a 1 hour consultation, and they prolong the time. It goes over the 1 hour, and they don't care and don't understand that this is spiritually draining for you. Remember, it's not easy to do. I'm talking about someone who's an energy healer. I'm talking about someone who works purely, not people who are using izilwane to actually tap into someone's energy. I'm talking about you yourself as an energy healer, as a healer. You using your own energy to tap into others' person's spirituality. Remember, when you're doing an online reading, you are going into this personal spirituality. Okay, and also you diving deeper into the spiritual realm, whereby you're trying to connect with the energies or the guides that are the ones who are taking care of this person. Okay, so sometimes you do all of that, and you do go about receiving all those negative things as well. So that is why, as a healer, you need to always protect yourself. So sometimes when you're helping a person also online, you also absorb the energy. Maybe that person has isilwane, they have a bad entity in them. You also absorb all of those things. Okay, so it becomes energetically draining, spiritually draining, and exhausted. Your spirits become exhausted in all of those things. So that is why it's important to always release energy if you're an energy healer. When you're a healer, you work with people every day. It's important that you do that on a daily basis. So having said that, let's go. Let me talk about spiritual exhaustion in healers, in people who are already healing, or in other people who are spiritually gifted as well, because it affects other people as well. So remember, as a healer, you're working with people. Okay, you whether you are a herbalist or energy worker or all of the above, and in whatever fields that you are in, remember that when you're going through this, remember that you're absorbing energies from your patients, from your clients. When I'm talking about clients, the people that you are giving mentorship to as well. Sometimes when you keep on talking to that person, you keep on advising them, then they still going on the wrong track, and they still not doing the things the right way, and they still don't do the things that you are telling them to do in order to assist them. That is draining your energy as well, because you're constantly saying the same thing, repeating the same thing, or telling them that for now just do that. They don't do all of those things. Okay, that is also draining your energy, and also absorbing energies from your patients, the people that you heal. You absorb their energies as well. Okay, whether it's online, whether it's a physical healing or it's a physical reading, you also absorbing energies there. And also you're taking on other people's emotions and spiritual burdens. Remember that. So those are things that bring spiritual exhaustion in your life as well, because you forever taking other people's emotional and spiritual burdens. You're forever there trying to assist them and unpack the baggages that they are holding on their shoulders. And also at the same time, the exposure to negative entities or energies. In doing all of that, in healing people, you get exposed to negative entities, you get exposed to negative energies at the same time. And you need to understand that in the healing work, it's never easy, Bantwana Bedlozi, to go about not wanting to help a person. If you know very well this is your calling, it's something that you love doing, and you go above, beyond and above to assist a person. But now some people do not understand that sometimes you just need some time to yourself. When you ask for a 1 hour reading, ensure that it's 1 hour reading, because you are training that person. Because sometimes people will say they want to connect with someone, and you allow them, you connect with that person. Thereafter, when they finished with that, they want their teaching. Can you teach me about this and this and that and that and that? Okay. You were supposed to mention when you were wanting to do your reading that I would like reading and spiritual guidance as well. Okay, because if you're saying I want to connect with my mom, there are some certain things that I do not understand what is happening in our home, and I would like to connect with my late mom. We go through the process. You connect with your late mom. They reveal everything. You understand a lot. They even tell you what is going on. You understand a lot, and that was what you wanted. Okay, and then others will go to the extent that, thank you for allowing me the opportunity, Makoti, to connect with my mom. I would like now for you to teach me about whatever spirits that person is saying. Now you're talking about something else, and that topic will go on into 2 hours and 3 hours, and where else now you're receiving a teaching. You see, so sometimes you need to be fair, Bantwana Bedlozi. If you want to do a reading, stick to the reading. If you want to do a reading and some spiritual guidance thereafter, or some spiritual teaching thereafter, you must mention that you want to do something like that, okay? And also, let's go back to energy, the exhaustion in healers, okay? What are the signs that you see that you're spiritually exhausted? what would be the sign to show you that you are spiritually exhausted, from absorbing these energies, from absorbing burdens and emotional things from your clients, absorbing izilwane, izchitho. Remember, when you're healing a person, you're absorbing everything, you're absorbing their sickness, you're absorbing everything. So how do you see that? Now I'm spiritually exhausted. I need to take some time out. I need to work on myself. I need to heal energetically. Okay. You feel drained. You feel depleted after a session. After you've had a session with someone, whether it's physical or online, you feel very, very drained. You feel you need, sometimes you feel those flu symptoms, like you're getting a flu. You'll get like your skin is pulling and all of those things, and you physically and emotionally drained after a session. Then you must know that whatever session that you had, it's spiritually drained you. Okay, so you need to do something about that. And then the difficulty of shaking off negative energies. You see, when you've had a session with someone, or you've had an encounter with someone, and suddenly maybe you were releasing a bad entity from that person, but you still can feel the energy in your body, you can still feel the presence of the energy, then it means that entity is absorbing your energy. Okay, and you need to work on that. So some healers do not understand how is it that you go about protecting yourself from all of these things, that those entities don't even get attached to you. When you're going to the river and you're going to the waters or wherever to release those energies, they need to remain there and they must not follow you. Okay, so the other signs would be increased sensitivity to clients' emotions and energies. You see, when you're healing and you're helping someone, then suddenly you feel you are too drawn to this person's problems. You feel you even have those emotional things that you suddenly, maybe you want to start to cry and all of those things. Then you spiritually exhausted. That person is spiritually draining you. Okay, you see, when you are a healer, you're working with people. The funny part is, it's like you have a mind or a heart or a life that you just switch off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Okay, you can't get attached to other people's emotions. You can't get to attached to other people's burdens and problems, because remember, this person can come into your ndumba or isikotlo sakho, and they come, you work on them. They have so many baggages, problems, they've lost children, you tapping into their spirituality, an infant is coming forward, perhaps maybe a traumatic experience, whatever. You need to adjust. You need to adjust yourself when you're going to help another person who's following after that person. So you see, your life is like an on and off switch. That is why you should not get emotionally attached to your patients, because you work with so many people. Because if you get emotionally attached to these people, that is where you start to be spiritually drained, spiritually exhausted. Another sign also, you'll feel disconnected from your own spiritual practice, okay, where you feel disconnected to a sense of purpose. Sometimes you'll be like, hey, today I don't want to work. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to see any patient. I don't want to talk to any clients. That's a sign to tell you that you are spiritually exhausted. You need to take some time. You need to work on yourself. You need to work on your energies, and you need to work on your spirit, because you do get to that point of say, man, today I'm drained. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to do any work, any spiritual work, any spiritual practices, any spiritual rituals. That is a sign that to show you that you're going through a spiritual exhaustion. Okay, so what are the energy management for us healers or other people who are also empaths? Because we are empaths, okay? What are the energy management techniques that we can use to do that? You need to do a regular energy clearing and shielding practices. Depends on what resonates with you through meditation, through certain bath things, through certain bath salts, through some spiritual bath salts and everything. Something you can use on a regular basis, okay? That's going to align you and assist you in terms of your energies. And setting healthy boundaries with your clients. It's very, very important to set boundaries with your clients and your patients, because remember, as I said, there are people who will not care. I'm telling you, there are people who will not care. Whether you're going through a reading, where you're going through a session with a person where you're giving advices and everything, and you can see the time is up now because you have a next appointment, and they just don't care, you know. They'll be like, oh, sorry, my cousin, and sorry, I'm so sorry to take your time, but can I ask, like, you need to be strict, because you would get drained. You know, the next person that is you have an appointment with, they'll find you drained because you work too much on one person. You took long to work on another person's spirituality, and it's actually drained you. And now you're spiritually exhausted to work on another person. So you need to know all of those things, that what is it that you do. And also you need to prioritize self-care and rest. Okay, feeling drained, feeling stressed, feeling all of that, take some time off. Reschedule some appointments, reschedule varis kolosako, close off your ndumba, close off your skodlo. Just take some time out. Do some self-care, cleansing, and work on yourself. Okay, it's very important to see that. And also, when you're seeing that still you're not getting a clear answers and everything, maybe you perhaps suddenly disconnected with your ancestors, seek guidance, spiritual mentors or your peers. Seek some guidance as to, hey, I'm going through this and I don't know what to do anymore because I feel disconnected. It's because you're too much going through a spiritual exhaustion. It might be that now you need an intervention from somebody else, from a mentor, from somebody else who can assist you in all of those things. Okay. And also you need to understand one thing when it comes to online healing and spiritual exhaustion. We're talking about risk of absorbing energies here. Okay, through online connection. So most people don't understand that when you're doing an online reading, it's not only about we calling upon your ancestors, we're calling upon your guides and everything. Sometimes even negative entities come through. Sometimes even negative entities that reside in your body, your spiritual husband, your spiritual wives, your spouse, they disturb the reading. Okay, so that is also spiritually exhausting. It's draining. Okay, because you get the risk of absorbing negative entities through online connections. So it's important to actually have boundaries in shielding yourself when you're doing online readings and all of those things. Okay, online work is very energy draining, so it's important that when you're going through all of those things, when you're maintaining time to maintain, have strategies to maintain your energy during your online sessions, like protecting your energies, protecting yourself. Use certain incense sticks, use certain room sprays, use certain sage and everything to protect yourself. Use certain crystals that you put on yourself. Use certain elements in your ndumba or isgodlo that will protect and shield you when you're doing online work, okay? Because you need to understand the risk of attracting negative entities through your healing work. Okay, so you need to do all of those techniques of shielding and protecting yourself from all of these entities. And it's important to do a regularly energy clearing and spiritual practicing upon yourself. So you need to prioritize yourself. Self-care, prioritize your physical and emotional and spiritual well-being. If it's time that you need to stop work, stop work. Engage on activities that will nourish you and recharge your energy. I'm talking about, should it be that you feel like you want to go to spiritual retreats, you do that. You close off your ndumba and everything, you go. You feel like you want to go for a walk, you do that. You feel like you want to go for gym, you do that. Whatever that you feel like I need a holiday, you do that. Okay? That is self-care for healers. You do that. It does not mean that we have to do our healing work 24/7, 365 days a year. No, we also have a life that we need to work on. Also remember, setting boundaries, setting time. When you say you're closing off at certain time, then make sure you close at that time. You don't take any patient or any client thereafter, because it's now time to work on your self-care, and it's now time to work on yourself and your family. Your family must feel the presence in your home as well. Don't be a person who's here but I'm not here, because you're constantly focusing on your parents. As a parent and your patient, if you are a parent as well, your kids need you. Okay, so you need to prioritize time with your family. So it's important to set boundaries. Bantwana bedlozi, attend to after hours things if it's only an emergency from a person. But if it's not, then that person can wait. You need to work on yourself. You need to prioritize your own care. You need to prioritize your time with your family as well. And it's also important to use your gift on protecting and shielding yourself. If you're going to the nature sources, maybe to release a bad entity, whether it's a demon, a silwane, or whatever, you must use your gift. You must use strategies. Ask your spirits, ask your guides, what is it that you need to do to protect yourself? What is it that you need to do when you're releasing an energy? That energy must remain there. That energy must be scared of you, okay? It must not follow you. The energy must not follow the patient again, okay? And how do you shield a patient from attracting that energy? You need to ask your ancestors. Some of us are not strong enough to understand all of those things because we lack the ability to do certain rituals in order to protect yourself. You must be a person who's strong. You must be strong. Whatever entity that you're removing from someone or a person's home, you must be confident in yourself that these entities will not follow you. Especially in Zuza children. Work on yourself. Work on your energy. Call upon your spirits, your gift. Use it. Don't doubt yourself that, hey, I cannot do that. Someone phoned you and say, hey, Makosi, we have Utigolosho spoke in our house and it's affecting us in so many ways. Please come and assist us to remove this energy. And you'll be like, hey, I have never done this. I'm not going to do. No, you can't say that. You can't say that if ever that person is confident in you, because it means that person has been brought to you for a reason, because you have the ability to do that. Sometimes the spirits will bring someone to test you on how are you going to respond, and also the spirits they will teach you on how to go about doing that ritual. Yes, I know there are people who don't have the capabilities of removing entities. You will feel it in your soul. You will feel it in your energy. When someone is asking for you for that, and your intuition will tell you that, direct this person to someone else, because at the moment you don't have the ability to do this. Yes, it happens like that. But in some cases, it happens because they'll bring someone to you so that you can learn that this is how far you can go with your gift. Remember, with us spiritually gifted people, we only learn by doing. There are no books. There are nothing that we read on how do we go about removing bad entities, removing all of those things. We learn by doing. We learn by situations. So in every situation that you come upon, learn from that. Learn what was the weakest link of doing a particular ritual whereby you felt exhausted after that ritual. Then you need to know what made me to be like that. What was my weakest point that I was supposed to shield and protect in myself or in my gift, so that I did not have to be spiritually exhausted. So you need to know yourself. You need to work on yourself. You're a person who's a healer, and you need to shield yourself all the time. So I hope this helps a lot of people, and I hope no one in the near future will have all the symptoms and not do anything about it. You work on yourself. do energy cleansing, do energy shielding, do energy protection as well. Protect your energy, protect your space, protect your family, protect your home, protect izindumba zakho at all costs. Protect yourself spiritually, your soul. You need to shield and protect your soul at all times. Remember that you also get patients and clients who are toxic. Very, very toxic. You help someone, they become too attached to you. They believe that you must live around their world. They believe that you must stop everything and you work on them. They believe that you get people who become toxic in many, many ways. I'm not into that. I'm not going to discuss that. But as a spiritual healer, that is why it's always important to set boundaries. That is why it's important to work on your self-care. Okay, that is why it's important to shield yourself from such people, because they drain your energy. Because even when you are ukobela, when you are a mentor, you do get abotwasana who are toxic. So also with Otosana, you must learn to set boundaries. They need to understand and learn that you treat them equally. They need to understand and learn that what was their purpose for them to come into your life. Okay, they must not expect any special treatment. They must not expect any things that they want you and now they are forcing you to do. Bokobela, they know what I'm talking about. You do get Obotwasana who are very toxic. You do get a patient who are very toxic. You know very well what I'm talking about. But that is why it's important. Always shield your energy, set boundaries, self-care, and everything else. When you feel your energy drained, take some time off and work on your energy, work on yourself. Take time off, go to retreats, go to holidays, go to places that brings happiness and peace, inner peace. Meditate, work on yourself. Do yoga, do everything that's going to bring about calling back your energy. Connect with your ancestors, connect with your spirits, go to nature sources, speak to people, socialize to like-minded people like you. Then you will see that you are not crazy. You're just going through an energy exhaustion that you need to work on yourself. Makos.